New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu announced Tuesday that he is endorsing Republican candidate Nikki Haley for president in 2024. Sununu made the announcement while appearing at a town hall in Manchester, New Hampshire, Tuesday evening. Tuesday evening. You bet your expletive I am. We're all in, Sununu said about endorsing Haley, according to her campaign announcement of the endorsement. Sununu subsequently announced the endorsement on X, formerly known as Twitter. Nikki Haley is the candidate with the momentum to win and get our party back on track to delivering conservative victories across the country, he wrote. She answered our questions and built trust. I'm proud to endorse Nikki Haley for president. Hope you'll join me in this movement, he added. Haley's press secretary also confirmed the endorsement, posting an 8-second video on X of the crowd at the town hall as they greeted and applauded for Sununu. Local news outlets reported earlier that Sununu, a frequent critic of former President Trump, was expected to make the announcement at the rally. Sununu's coveted endorsement in the early primary state marks a significant win for Haley, as she hopes to gain on the momentum her campaign has seen in recent months. Haley's been widely praised for her debate performances and has benefited from the late boost in her polling. She is now seen to be neck and neck in a neck and neck race with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis for second place. Trump is polling at least 30 points ahead in most polls. So I'm actually very surprised that he swore in his endorsement, because these politicians are also scripted and staged, that to even see them say a bad word is like a shock. Like, wow, he actually said something that is sort of memorable. Um, Endorsements are, what can I say? They're not very effective in a lot of cases. Um, I mean, if you want some examples, Sarah Palin endorsed Trump in 2016, and then Cruz. It's like, yeah, Trump won the primary, but Cruz won her state, Alaska, um, which was like a big slap in the face on her part. And then, of course, later she ran and lost that for that House race, which had me on the floor laughing. Um, right now in Iowa, DeSantis is what, 20, 30 points behind Trump, and he's been endorsed by the state's governor, Kim Reynolds. So I think that's that lady's name. I have to look it up. But the point I'm making is these endorsements are only good for making a little bit of headlines. And what I'm starting to understand here is that Haley's strategy is like this. She knows that she's going to lose Iowa, most likely. I'd say almost with certainty, with only a few weeks to go and 20 points behind. But she's hoping she can come within probably 10 to 15 points of Trump, if not even closer. And then she's hoping that this endorsement from what is considered a moderate Republican governor, who also has earned some disdain for Trump, will allow her to be propelled to victory in New Hampshire. And then after that, maybe she doesn't win in Nevada, but she can hopefully, on her part anyway, carve out a victory in her home state of South Carolina. So what she's angling for is, a loss in Iowa, but a closer than expected loss, of bare victory in New Hampshire, most likely a loss in Nevada, and then another victory in South Carolina, and then from there, she can have the supposed momentum to then be competitive with Trump while everybody else drops out, and it becomes a one-on-one race. Um, I don't think it's going to work because, like I said, endorsements, even by popular governors, still don't. You know, they oftentimes they can't thread the needle. They can't make you well liked or wanted by the populace. And in his endorsement, he doesn't really give any reasons why you should support this lady. We're all in. Okay, we're all in for Haley. The momentum to win and get our party back on track to delivering conservative victories. It's like, yeah, that stuff has nice to do with elections, right? Because we talked about, like, they had this idea of the red wave, and they just barely won the House back and still didn't get the Senate in 2022. But why would a normal regular voter, like, think about this? If you're a regular Republican voter, let's say your top issues are immigration, the economy, just anything, right? Why would you care about, we're all in, momentum to win, uh oh yeah, this person is going to get conservative victories? Because when he says conservative victory, he's not talking about, oh, we're gonna repeal Obamacare and, I don't know, stop people from having pills to not have babies they don't want. It's like he's talking about winning elections, but do regular voters really care about that? Do they really, like, is that really something that would make a person who's for Trump go, oh man, Haley is she the governor of New Hampshire said she can win elections. Time for me to switch my vote. See, what he should have done is said, and this is why, again, endorsements are just such a joke to me. He should have made a policy based case for why this lady is better than Trump. But he can't because Haley and Trump are kind of identical when it comes to most issues. Like, you'll hear the same nativist rhetoric when it comes to immigration. You'll hear the same. Well, actually, Trump's a chameleon, so he'll say we don't need to cut Social Security, and then Haley will say we need to raise the retirement age of what is it of what Medicare, even though we actually have polling that shows people are living shorter lifespans. So I guess some people are just never going to retire. But you get the idea that they're really not that different from each other. And in a primary where everything is basically just a cult of personalities, which is what the Republicans have become, a cult, you have to make up reasons that have nothing to do with actually wanting someone to use the powers enumerated to them as a member of the government, whether they're the president, the senator, congressman, whatever, to actually make people's lives better. So instead of hearing about how, when she gets in office, she wants to do this, that, the other, instead of hearing that, you hear, oh yeah, if you make her the nominee, we're going to have more Republicans in Congress, even though, you know, 2 years later, 4 years later, they're all going to be out of there anyway because people are showing up in record numbers to support Democrats after Roe got overturned. But it's just funny that it's this primary is so substanceless. It's all just, I don't like this person, I don't like that person. Yeah, you get a few policy debates during policy discussions during some of these one-on-one interviews, but it's all just this big popularity contest where there's almost like no matter who gets elected, who becomes the nominee, it's going to be someone who's anti-immigrant, who opposes increasing the minimum wage, who uh, most likely, Trump says he doesn't want to do this, but he did it as he proposed this president wants to, raise the retirement age or cut Social Security or Medicare. I mean, no matter who you vote for, you're going to get this result. The only thing you might not get is that if Haley wins instead of Trump, there might not be another a January 6th sequel, which I would prefer not to have. But that's only going to be what during the transition. What happens after that? More disasters. So I don't think Sununu is going to make the difference. I think she's probably going to lose both Iowa and New Hampshire, but not lose New Hampshire as badly. But I could be wrong. It's just hard to imagine she's gonna end a 20-point lead in 5 weeks. But hey, crazier things have happened.